Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. Finally I've come on to show my daughter's Blue Birdie journal that I have been doing for ages and ages. Really it's just been sitting around for ages and ages because I was trying to find my vintage Scrabble tiles to do the title on it. I couldn't find them. I got out my new Scrabble tiles, they looked terrible, so I just used some cardstock and I quite like that. So now for this, a lot of people did give me little bits through Facebook groups and that, and I'd like to thank them all. I won't remember names as I go through because I don't want to get them wrong. But anything that's not in here I'm putting into a folder for my daughter. I've started getting it ready so that she's got a lot that she can do in there because I just don't want to make it any fatter than what it is. So a lot of the stuff probably won't be in there, but she will be getting it so that she can decorate it a lot herself. So it's a hardcover, second-hand book cover that I've just put cardstock on. A wooden flourish that I acrylic painted, inked and gessoed. And it's got a little feather behind, and it's just backed onto some cheesecloth. So yes, I just stamped the title onto some cardstock and then inked it. There's bias binding on the corners and lace. And that's the back. I love the back because it says, "Until you spread your wings, you'll never know how far you'll fly." And I just think that's a gorgeous saying for a mother to give to her child. And also it's in keeping with that bird theme, so that worked out really good. Because I do find the covers quite difficult, and one of the last things I usually do. So now I wanted to make a writing board so that it's a bit easier for her to use the pages. So I had big flashcards, Winnie the Pooh flashcards, that's a mouthful, which I have just collaged over, and I've stuck this on the back so it can be journaled on, but it can also be used as the flat part to be able to put under the page and write on. And I received this envelope in the mail as junk mail for a fitness club or something, and it was a perfect size to slip in the flashcards. So I just collaged that as well with some stamps that I was gifted and other bits and pieces. So now it's named Sora, and that is because that is the name of this cheeky little fellow. He was my daughter's budgie. We had him for 4 or 5 years, and he passed about a year ago. I could not give this to her like this before then, or she probably would have cried, but now she might actually like it. So this is a watercolour picture of him that my daughter did. He used to love hanging upside down until we saw him. He'd be real quiet, and then as soon as he knew you were looking at him, he'd flap his wings like crazy until he fell off. So, but yeah, he was very cheeky. So that's a watercolour of him that we stuck into a journal for my mum. So I asked my mum if she'd photocopy it for me so I could put it into her journal, my daughter's journal. So that turned out really nice as a little tuck spot. So there's a page from Daphne's diary, some grid paper. Now these are just out of an old budgie book, and I cut a picture out and just backed it. That slips in there. Now the paper clip here, my daughter came, when she was here one day, we made a whole lot of paper clips together, and she just left hers here. So because they were blue and her journal is themed Blue and Birdie, I thought I'd just stick them in here and she could have them back. So, but she made this one, which is really cool. I should actually put this one in my ideas book because it's a little like pocket tag sort of thing. So, and she slipped the little ticket in there, and I thought that was really neat. So I'll have to remember that. So, and then there's some botanical pages as well. A little tuck spot here with this journaling card. There is a processed video on me making these. If I remember, I will link it below. Picture out of budgie books, and just, yeah, collage with the old papers. And I put the word gorgeous on there because that's what he used to say all the time, which I didn't mind. He used to call me gorgeous a lot. So yeah, and I just did those letters with my, what's it called? The label maker thing, Dymo, that's the one. Yeah, and then just backed it with some nice writing paper. I think I used junk mail cards, the cards that you get in the junk mail, and then I just covered over them. A little scrappy that I made with different fabrics. And this is a white paper bag that I just stuck a journaling card on, and there's a bit of ribbon down the bottom, a bit of blue ribbon. I just used heaps of offcuts of ribbon. There's a bit of paper in there to write on. Some more out of a Birdy book. I think they're different, yeah, so that came out of one book, and then I backed the writing side with this page on budgies. And yeah, I just like to use a lot of the scraps of trims on the edges of everything. I left lots of blank pages for her to do her art on. She likes doing art, so I've put pages from Art Diary in there for her. That's a budgie card that came out of a game that I have, and it's a top tuck, so she can tuck something up in there if she likes. That's beautiful colouring picture that she can do with lots of birds. So the first signature relates to budgies mainly. I think the second one's like fairy wrens and stuff, and then the third one's all your colourful parrots, because they're all her sort of favourites. A botanical picture and some trims. Another one of my budgie cards, and I've stuck that one down to make a tuck spot where I've put this. I love that. It's a postcard that I found in the second-hand shop. And that's a pattern of a cross stitch or something that I thought looked nice. Grid paper. It's the other side of the Daphne's Diary page. Then the second signature, that is my collaged paper. I did a video of me making one of those just the other day, and that's the first one I ever did, and I really loved it. And I gessoed around the edges of the papers, and I loved the way that turned out. And then I just stuck a whole lot of stuff together and make a little tuck spot there. Got a wren from a Birdy book, put it on the back of a index card, so that just slips there. This is some airmail paper that of some sort. A fairy wren picture, beautiful picture. And then these are little wallpaper tucks that I made in my What I Do With Wallpaper series. So I wasn't real happy with these ones, but I stuck them in here together like this, and I really love the way they look now. So and this one's a little pocket for this envelope that someone has gifted me. It's jelly plated or printed. Another wren. Then that's just a journaling card made out of some cardstock. That's a faux stamp that I made with just an offcut of one of my flowers that I fussy cut and put onto some blue paper. And that makes a little tuck for this ticket. It's a deer, it's not a bird, but it was blue, so it went in there. A wages sheet. This is some vellum. It's got beautiful little daisies on it, which I love. Now this is doily. It was cut off of a pair of shorts. I've got a pair of shorts that was made just out of all these doilies, so I got it from second-hand shops. That's a little tuck spot for this card from the game that I've got. This is another one of my daughter's paper clips. It's got a fairy that's thrown some glitter and saying "in my power," which is really cool. So I thought that was a good one to put in there for her. Now this is a tag that someone gifted me, and I had this sticker that someone gifted me as well, so I stuck it on there because I really liked the way it looked. And then this page, that's beautiful. It's out of a telephone book or something. The wrens. It's just a little fabric pocket that I made with some laces and ribbon and an embossed card, napkined and embossed. This is just a little card that I've put over the top and paper clipped on, and it's holding on this, which is just a journaling card, a Project Life card that I've put some lace on and just layered some fabrics under the fairy wren. I like it because the frayed fabric looks real feathery underneath. This is an envelope flip, so I just decorated the envelope, and then it flips open like that, so it gives it a lot of writing space. And then in the envelope's just some note paper and a little journaling card. Try and get them back in. And then you can flip it that way, and this side of the envelope is a little tuck spot, and I've made this little journaling card. And this is one of my wallpaper pockets, which I also did a tutorial on, and not this specific one, but I did make a whole lot of them in a tutorial in my What I Do with Wallpaper series. So it's got a die cut and some lace and feather on it. And that is a pocket inside with this journaling card, and then a pocket behind that I've put this little flash card in, the little blue birdie. Some botanical book. On my collaged page, I should say. And this is the last signature. So this is the one that's like real bright and parrots and stuff. So every girl needs to know how to make chocolate chip cookies. So I put a card in there, and just to make it fit in with the blue theme, I stuck on some washi tape, tissue paper, and a little bow. And then there's a tutorial for these somewhere as well. I did the little slides with the parrots, little photo slides, and then napkined some parrots on there. This was some oven mitts that every time we used them we'd burn our fingers, so they weren't very good as oven mitts, but I loved the fabric, so I made a flip out of that. A little tuck spot with a picture with this little card with rosellas. It just slips in there. Some beautiful paper that I was gifted. Ledger paper. Rainbow lorikeet. Now this is the macaw page. She loves macaws, so paper bag that's got a Project Life card, and I just stuck some macaws on and some trims. And then some more macaws. And then I just stuck a picture on that card as well for her. So there's heaps and heaps of writing space, but there's also lots of spaces that she can stick her own pictures on and that as well. And the art pages, so if she wants to watercolour and that she can. That's Bursting Bloom envelope. Shabby Dabby Doodah does them. I did a tutorial for that as well. I will try and remember to link all this stuff below. We'll see how I go at remembering. Made that little tuck spot behind as well. I love that page. It's absolutely beautiful, but it said something about Christmas list up here, which I didn't like, so I grabbed some lace and stuck it on there. Managed to find decent lace to put on there too, because it looks really good, so that worked. Paper clip holding on this that I've made into a journaling card, and this just flips up and has a little picture of a parrot in there that someone gifted me as well. There would be there's tutorials on how I did these as well. Now this is a floating pocket. So my mum, I think, gave me these napkins, and they were still in the pack, and this was the cover of the pack. I didn't want to waste it because it was so pretty, and a bit more of the offcut of the doily from the shorts. And then inside I've got this, it's a bridge card that I found recently. Perfect for her journal, so I fit that in there. And that's just an old book page that's been covered. So it's just the napkined page. More birdies. Just the other side of the paper bag, and I cut it up the top, and I made this covered over one of my bookmarks with just some information on parrots, and then backed it with grid paper. Just have to be a little careful putting things back in. That's the last page, so the paper clip holds this on. Well, there's one page after this one. And this is a tag that I was gifted, and another little colouring sheet with birds. And then I was gifted some of these, which are awesome. I've got to put one in my ideas journal. They open up, and I found a poem about rosellas, which fit really nicely, so I stuck that in there, and I stuck the picture of the rosella on the back. This was already in there when it was given to me. And I just added a leaf and this faux stamp with a fussy cut bird backed onto the blue paper. And the scrappy was already on here, so it's really cool to be able to use that. It's really nice, all the bits and pieces that people have given me, to be able to utilise them in this journal for my daughter. And then on the last page is another little tuck spot, and it has a bit out of a Daphne's diary. It's just a little notebook. So heaps of writing space, and then of course I had to finish it off with another gorgeous picture of him. So that's the end of that journal. Yeah, I really loved the way it's turned out, and I hope she likes it. I said it was really nice to do something bright and fun. So do more like that in the future, I reckon. So I hope you're all having a great day, and I will see you again soon. Bye.